It's official. Donald J. Trump has won the 2016 election in a massive landslide. I'm going to shoot you straight. A year and a half ago, I began to support Donald Trump, but I was holding my nose. I didn't really know who he was. But after watching him go through this trial of fire, the demonization, the attacks, the lies, all the big billionaires, all of them, the communist Chinese, the corrupt Saudi Arabians, the Pope come out against him, and to see the globalists in both political parties and all the big political bosses line up against him, I am so proud of the fact that I chose the populist. I chose the man who was trying to defend this Republican who's gone through hell. Trump gave a speech today in Central Florida that was so incredibly powerful. There's no doubt in my mind, I just got done watching it live, that if every American saw that speech, he would win by 70, 80%. But here's the issue. It's come out in the WikiLeaks that they're paying the polling agencies, the Democrats are, to oversample 9 to 50 points more Democrats to show Hillary ahead, and that they have financed groups to go start riots and spout racist rhetoric at Trump events. It's so fixed. And then I ask myself, the so-called populist liberals, how could you not support somebody when the biggest banks and Wall Street and the robber barons are against him? Trump knows America's been given one-sided deals. We've been sold out. We were the greatest nation in the world. And the political class took over. And instead of innovating, they sold us out at the highest bidder. And now, as America is running on fumes, Trump is desperately trying to reverse that.
And just so you understand, and you know this, I didn't need this. I didn't need this, but I was doing very well on the other side. I was, definitely doing well. I didn't need this, but I'll tell you, I love our country. I had to do it. I see where our country is going, and it's not good. It's really bad. My contract begins with a plan to end the rampant government corruption and to put the special interests out of business. It's all about special interests. I want everyone in Washington to hear and to heed the words I'm about to say. If we win on November 8th, we are going to Washington, D.C., and we together are going to drain the swamp. Under my contract with the American voter, we are proposing a series of ethics reforms on day one to end government corruption. They include a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. Important. A lifetime ban on government officials lobbying for a foreign government. You believe this? They get out, they lobby for it, they make a fortune. A total ban on foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections. Thank you very much. We don't need your money. I'm also going to take a series of actions on day one to protect American workers. We are living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. They are taking our companies, they are taking our jobs, and our politicians, many of whom are stupid and many of whom are corrupt, are allowing it to happen. We're not going to allow it any longer. Our nation has lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA, a deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported strongly by Hillary Clinton. And by the way, the single worst trade deal ever made in history, anywhere. Listen to this. Hard to believe. I've told you before, I thought this was a typographical error. We've lost 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization, WTO. Another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster, but they've been nicely paid. Look at all the money they have pouring in. We will renegotiate NAFTA or withdraw from the deal to get a much better one for our workers and our companies. It's a one-way street. You know what I call it? It's a one-way highway right into Mexico. They get our jobs, They get our money, they get our plants and factories. You know what we get? Drugs and unemployment. That's what we get. We get nothing. Next, I'll work with Congress to introduce a series of legislative reforms, and we'll fight for their passage in the first 100 days of my administration. And this legislation quickly includes Middle Class Tax Relief and Simplification Act. So essentially, a middle-class family with 2 children will get about a 35% tax reduction. Isn't that nice? It's about time. The middle class in our country has been devastated. And by the way, Crooked Hillary wants to raise your taxes up to the sky. She wants to raise, we're the highest tax nation in the world. She wants to raise your taxes right up to the sky.
So with only 13 days out, I want to make this declaration right now. Donald Trump has won the 2016 election. Whether they end up stealing it from him or whether he actually gets into office, it doesn't matter. Trump has promoted nationalism. Trump has exposed globalism. He has exposed the whole crony capitalist system. He has shown how unfair deals have been made. And if you thought the liberty movement with Barry Goldwater 50 years ago was powerful, or Ron Paul 10 years ago, or now Donald Trump, it is an exponential growth curve going straight up. Brexit, as the UK pulls out of the unelected, tyrannical EU, Russia pulling out of the oligarchs, countries all over the world waking up and rediscovering self-determination. This is a magic moment. And it's happening right now. And Donald Trump, because of his courage and his charisma, has been a focal point to bring that out. And the truth is, we've never been able to fix our problems the last 30 years because we haven't had a leader that actually wanted to do that.
Additionally, on the first day, I will take the following actions to restore the rule of law. These include, I will cancel every illegal Obamacare executive order. We'll cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. Out. We will suspend immigration from regions comprised of radical Islamic terrorists, including the suspension of the Syrian refugee program, which is taking in thousands and thousands of people that we have no idea where they come from, no idea who they are. And Crooked Hillary Clinton wants to have that increased by 550% over and above the crazy Obama numbers, okay? But we have also just learned that one of the closest people to Hillary Clinton, with long-standing ties to her and her husband, the closest person, I can tell you that, gave more, listen to this, just happened yesterday, gave more than $675,000 to the campaign of the wife of a top FBI official who oversaw the investigation into Mrs. Clinton's illegal email server. In other words, the man who was in charge of the investigation of Hillary Clinton accepted essentially from Hillary Clinton $675,000 that went to his wife. Hillary's Wall Street donors want it, and she'd approve it. If she ever got the chance, she will approve TPP so fast, and she intends to. Tim Kaine has even left the door open to passing TPP by another name. Let's change the name. And by the way, folks, we're going to win. But regardless, don't let it happen. It's too complicated. You do one deal with another. One. Make individual deals with individual nations. Deal with the ones we want to deal with. You got to see what this thing looks like, a piece of Swiss cheese. And if they default, you send them a letter of default. And by the time that 30-day notice ends, you'll have a new deal that's even better. This deal is too complicated. It's almost 6,000 pages long. And here's the thing. All of these other countries, they've read every single word, every comma, every period, every paragraph. I'll bet we have nobody that even reads these things.
Bottom line, Trump is a godsend, an imperfect messenger of God but nevertheless, a King David of our time. I'm Alex Jones for Infowars.com. History's happening now. Be part of it.
Get Brain Force at 25% off for a limited time at InfoWarsLife.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're going to crash afterwards. And the cool thing about this is it's not just a bunch of energy compounds that are going to fire your brain up to a higher RPM or whatever, which it does do. This is sustainable. This isn't going to spike and you're going to collapse and you're going to feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We're looking at the television screen for research purposes, whatever we've been doing, trying to learn something, or staring at the computer all day, working, doing good. You're still damaging your brain.
You will find Brain Force and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Get Brain Force at 25% off for a limited time at InfoWarsLife.com. And we thank you for your support.